Okie dokie. Let me know if you can hear me or see me. Gosh, this is a lot of fun trying to figure this one out. So there we go, that's that. Oh, there we go. Okay, I do not know what the problem is or was this morning. But please let me know if you can hear me or see me okay. All right, so this is normally a live session over... Okay, go on to... Can't find the other platforms. All right, I just need to get this sorted. Go onto the home tab. Oh no, wait, there you are. Yes. Okay, so okay, I do apologize if you have been waiting on the Insight Timer side and you haven't been able to see or hear anything. I think that there's just a general problem. I think there's just a general problem with the Insight Timer app, and so we have not been able to do that. And so we will have to do this over here, so apologies for that. But let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I don't want to type too much because it messes around with the screens that show up. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, please let me know if you can hear me. Are on YouTube, guys? Abigail K, Never Ending Novice. Yes. And then I will have to change. Yeah, I just have to cancel out the Insight Timer session because it's not working, and so today is going to be yet another singular session over on my other platforms, which here on YouTube, and then also on Substack. So what a discombobulated start to this session, and now more than ever is a good reason to be doing this doodling stuff, because this is in moments like this when things don't go quite as you had intended, then you need something to calm your mind, calm your nerves, and all the things. Yesterday, interestingly, I had a surprise. When I discovered that my driver's license had expired, and so I had to go to the DMV, and I had to, yeah, it wasn't what I planned, but I took my iPad with, and while I was waiting, I did some doodling at the DMV because it was just not what I had intended for the day, and so I was feeling a little bit frazzled, and the doodling definitely helped. Yay! Okay, so I can see I can see some of you are joining me here in YouTube. Oh, undo. Lorna, I can see you here, and Kathy, I can see you here. Okay, I need to just get present to this new setup. How do you... I did something. Lorna, sorry. I did something to your chat on YouTube, and I don't know what I did. There is also quite a bit of a big delay that I'm seeing, so this is going to be interesting. Thank you, Lorna. Okay. All right, thank you everyone who has come over. I gather that this is going to be a much quieter session because most people are Insight Timer side, and yeah, I mean, on the Insight Timer side, it all looks fine to me. In fact, let me check this on the app. What is happening? Sorry. Very, very distracted now. Let me see what is happening on Insight Timer on the browser, if I can see. No, I don't see it. Oh, there I am. What is happening? Oh. Okay, let me know if you can hear me now. This is the most bizarre thing, honestly. Hello, hello, do we have life? Wow, this is bizarre. Oh, okay, hi Evelina, I can see you. Can hear and see. Jessica, thank you. Oh man, I'm sweating here now. All right, I can't change my orientation, so that's an interesting experience. Hello, hello. Okay, let me, and can you all hear me okay? Olivia, hello. So good to see you. Yeah. Let me I just want to see if I can change my camera and if that works. No, okay, that doesn't work. Guys, okay, sorry guys, in Insight Timer is not working for us today for some reason. On my end, everything looks perfect, but apparently on your end it is not. And I'm gonna see if I can tag team this. This is quite a good practice. Oh. You're just watching me tech resolve things. I'm having a hot flush now. Virtual camera. Start live. End live. You have audio now, but have lost the visual. I tell you, I don't know what's going on. The video, but, oh, no. Okay, I'm going to stop fiddling. I don't know what happened. So, here we are, only on YouTube, and I'm going to give up trying to sort this out on Insight Timer. I don't know what went wrong there. Oh, okay, let's take a moment. Let's just take a moment. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the presents. Gosh, I'm going to have to cut out so much at the beginning of this live, and I am really having a hot flush now. Oh, all right. Seriously, doodling for the win. Okay, I would like some music, please. Music to calm the nerves. Background music. Can you hear that? Lorna, you can hear me okay? Okay, calming down. I really dislike that that happened, but there's nothing I can do about it. That is the second time in a row that Insight Timer hasn't worked for me. Maybe I'm just too ambitious. Hi Liz, good to see you. Hi Helen, Olivia. Oh, Jessica, it's so good to see you here. Thank you so much. Okay, you can hear the music. Liz, it's your first time here. Welcome. Yay. Yes, I'm breathing in and out. In fact, let us all collectively do an in and out breath. I am going to be going live over on Substack as well when we get into the actual doodling session. It's just that I have my phone set up here and it's looking directly onto my iPad. Thank you for the love. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Just get present. Accept what is. Can't do anything about it. I tried my best. Helen, my first time, yay! So lovely to meet you too. And yes, I'm sorry that I'm projecting my stress onto you. That is not my intention. In fact, my intention with these sessions is the complete opposite. To de-stress. But I suppose it's a great experience to put the practice into practice in real time. And so that is what we are doing here. So let's take a temperature gauge before we do anything. Where are you at right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being awful and 10 being fantastic. I'll put myself at a 4. I'm going to just write that down so that I can recall. My temperature right now is 4. Just mentally, emotionally, physically, I'm at a 4. Does anybody else want to share? Olivia, thank you. Tell Daniel I say hi. For those watching, Olivia is my niece over in the UK and Daniel is my nephew, her brother. So, yeah. I think this is the first time I have a family member joining my live doodle sessions. Thank you, Helen. I'm glad you feel I'm not projecting. Thank you. So Lorna, you're a 6. Olivia, you're a 9 out of 10. I'm thrilled to hear that. Yay. So glad. Jessica, 10. I have vacation next week, a staycation. Hurrah! Yay, Jessica. I'm so happy that you're a 10. Let's see if we can boost your number out of the box, beyond the 1 to 10 scale. Yes. Olivia, Jessica lives are you in California, Jessica? I think you traveled a bit. But yeah, where are you tuning in from? So yeah, Olivia's in Bristol in the UK, where all of the rest of my family is. Okay, so temperature gauge is done. Now, before we start our doodle session, I like to draw a card and let it be a perfect reminder. Massachusetts, Massachusetts. Jessica, you're from Massachusetts. Okay. Why did I think you were in California? Apologies. My memory does not get a 5-star rating on the best of days, let alone on a day with a huge technical hiccup like this. Gosh. Okay, let's see. So our reminder for today. Yes, Bristol is lovely. Dance. This is our card. This is our little reminder for today, to dance. I dance to the beat of my own drum. I dance to remind myself to enjoy this moment to enjoy this moment I am living in. I dance because I am happy to be alive. And we know that when we dance, sometimes we have a little misstep in our dance moves, and that's okay. It brings the uniqueness to the experience. So again, I dance to the beat of my own drum. I dance to remind myself to enjoy this moment I'm living in. I dance because I'm happy to be alive. Absolutely happy to be alive. And I'm just going to acknowledge the fact that with this technical hiccup, I could have, you know, not done any of it. Just given up. But I chose not to because I danced to the beat of my own drum. So what can you acknowledge for yourself from this past week that represents you dancing to the beat of your own drum? I'd love to hear about that in the comments. Yes. Yes, Lorna, dance, dance, dance. All right, so now that we are calming our breath and our thoughts and becoming more present. Yes, beat of the drum, Olivia. I like all your emojis. Yay, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here too. Thank you. So we start off with our doodling with a little breathing exercise, and it will be very much, I feel, for me personally, very much needed just to get present to the present moment. Oh, now what? Now you can't see my screen, can you? Okay, I need to try. You can't see. Yeah. There is tech stuff going on. Okay, one moment. Let me just try and figure this one out. Listen to the music while you wait. No. Seriously, what is going on? I need you to be able to see. Source. That's playing, that's playing, that's playing. And that's not playing. Guys, I don't know what the problem is here. Now it won't see the... I've never had so many technical issues in one go. Gonna try one more. Are we in luck? Can you see my iPad now? You should be able to. This music is very much what I need right now. Yes, you see it. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. I just want to reorder this. Okay, and you can see movement. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. There is a big lesson in here somewhere. I'm going to be reflecting on this. We see it, but not your little face in the corner. Okay, it should come up shortly. Because there is a little bit of a delay. Okay, so I'm going to start on Substack as well. Okay. All right, so after our many technical issues this morning, we are going to start with our mindfulness doodle practice. So just to get ourselves present, grab your pencil, your pen, and whatever device or whatever piece of paper or journal you're going to be working on. Take a nice deep breath. Yes, let us start fresh now. Let us start fresh now. And isn't this just the lesson? Like every new moment is a moment to start fresh. Jeez. Nice in breath, nice out breath. And on a page that is separate to what you're going to be doing your doodling on, draw a square. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, just a square. Now we're going to fill the interior of the square with lines that represent our in-breath and our out-breath. And so from the corner, top left corner, bring it down about 1 centimeter. I don't know what that is in inches, but you know, about that distance from the corner. Okay, you can see that okay. Now with every line that you draw a breath. So either in or out at your own rhythm. And we're going to go around the square, knocking into the edges of the container as if your pen is a ball on a snooker table or a puck on an ice rink, whatever analogy you want to use. Can I turn the music down a smidge? Sure. No, not at well. Who knows? It should not, in theory, cause any issues. Background music. Oh, saying that. Is that better? Let me know. I hope that the audio is okay. I would love to know. Okay. Let me know if the audio is okay like that. That's good, no worries. Okay, you could probably turn the music down a bit, please. Yes. I think it's good. Actually, the song is calmer. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, we're good. Okay, so we're going to move our pen around as if it is a puck or a snooker ball or a pool table ball. Okay. So taking a deep breath. And then on the way out to the next edge of the square. And then on in. And we keep going. You can lift your pen once the lines start to get a bit shorter so that you can have the full extent of the breath. actually stopping. Okay. So now we find ourselves present in the room, here to do our doodling. So let's get to it. Grabbing a new page, a new paper, turning the page, adding a new layer. Today is a shape-inspired doodle session, and the shape that I was inspired by today is a plant. You might have noticed that I'm very inspired by plants. In fact, it's this plant in particular that you can see the edge of it. Now, for some reason this morning, and perhaps it's just representative of the kind of morning I'm having, I can't think of the English word for this. In Afrikaans, it's called a vetplant, which directly translates to fat plant. It's not a cactus. What is it? I can't access the word. All morning I've been trying to access it. It is a... can't think of it. Oh yeah, you love the new resource, Jessica. You printed it and put it in your art basket. Succulent! Thank you! Thank you! Oh my goodness, succulent. So yes, this morning, this succulent is our inspiration as part of a decorative item on this new set of doodles. Succulent, yes. So we're going to be drawing the succulent, and each of the consecutive, in fact I should have the full picture here, but the consecutive layers, that's the number of different sections. So each layer of the succulent is going to be filled with one particular doodle design. That's the plan here. So as you know, if you have joined these sessions before, I like to make use of the wheels to help with the decision-making aspect of the doodle designs. If you're not, then you're in for a little bit of fun. So these are the two wheels that I like to use. This one tells us how many different designs we're going to be doodling, and then this one tells us which doodle we're going to doodle. And I do have a free resource that you can access over on my Substack account. The link is in my Linktree page, and I have literally just updated this, so this is all brand new. So first of all, let's see how many different doodles we're going to doodle today. 3. Okay, so our succulent is going to have 3 layers. So let's go ahead and draw that. Oh, that's not what I want open. So we're going to draw 3 layers on our succulent. So the shapes are kind of teardrop shapes, and you can create them however you like. That's going to be my inner top layer. Tell me if the music is too loud again, because it seems like some tunes are louder than others. Okay, and then from there it was 3, right? We did say 3. It was 3, right? Clearly my focus is not here today. So 1, the second layer, and then we're going to do the 3rd layer. And we're going to fill each of these leaves, thank you. We're going to fill each of these leaves with a doodle. So the outermost layer will have the same doodle. Then the inner layer will have the same doodle, and then the innermost layer will have the same doodle. So your succulent should look something like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is then see which doodles we're going to start with. And you can decide whether you want to start with the outside layer or the inside layer or the middle layer, completely up to you. Let us see which of the doodle patterns come up, and you can decide where it feels most relevant. So this is a new wheel. I have 50 different doodle designs, and our first one is number 9. So I'm going to pull it up here. Doodle pattern number 9. Here we go. So that is our first design. So it's kind of like a flower within a flower. So you can decide which layer of your succulent is going to have this doodle in. I feel like I'm going to do my innermost layer. So I like to start this with doing a circle and another circle, and then the outer border, and then a circle and a circle and the outer border. And then I would imagine that there's another one there and another one there. And this one I'm going to make it such that there is just the one in that leaf. When you're doodling, pay attention to how you're breathing, how you're holding yourself. Okay, and then we start going round and round, lifting the pen as you do your details on the inside. Notice the thoughts that are coming up. Notice the flavor of those thoughts. If those thoughts had a color, what color would they be? If they had a shape, what color would they, what shape would they be? If they had a texture, what texture would they be? And just notice that when contemplate things in nature, in most cases, there's almost an instant relaxation, calmness, presence. And as this is a plant-themed doodle, we are contemplating nature. Immerse yourself in what your hand is doing and invite your brain not to be overly involved. Just let your hand do the repetitive action. Tell your brain that it can rest. It doesn't need to be on duty right now. And if I'm honest, I'm saying this as much as, if not more, for myself. And notice when it comes to nature, nature is resilient. If you cut it back, if you trim it, if you uproot it, it grows. It regrows itself. It just naturally bounces back. Okay, there we go. It's the interior of my particular succulent. I'm liking the plant within a plant vibe. How is yours going? Have you completed? And of course, the invitation is always here for you to color in if you want to, if you feel called to. You can always add shadow and shading if you want to. But during these sessions, we keep it basic and simple to start with. And depending on how we go with time, we can go deeper with adding shadow and colors. I have to say, I'm feeling much calmer already. I hope you are too. And let me know if you're ready to move on to the next pattern. If you're not, that's okay. The invitation always stands for you to come back to your doodle, come back to the design, the pattern. Remember that you dance to the beat of your own drum, and that you dance to remind yourself to enjoy this moment you're living in. Isn't that just poignant? And you dance because you're happy to be alive. We could replace dance with doodle. So I doodle to the beat of my own drum. I doodle to remind myself to enjoy this moment I'm living in. And I doodle because I am happy to be alive. I love that. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next pattern. So we had number 9. I'll hide that one. 19. So let's see which is number 19. If you want to get all of these doodle patterns for your own practice at home, then check out the link to my Substack. That's where you can download it for free. You will just need to create an account on Substack, and then you can grab the PDF of all of these doodle designs. Okay, so this is number 19. This is one of my favorite ones. I love it. It's more plant inspired doodles, and so lots of different little leaves, starting with the big ones, and then we fill in the gaps with smaller ones, and then eventually fill in the negative space. So on your next layer, we're going to start. You can choose wherever you want to put your doodle pattern. Remember, it's not about the aesthetic, it is about the process. Inside each of the leaves, we do a line and then 2 dots. And then in the gaps in between, you can do smaller leaves. Each of the leaves of the second layer, or whichever layer you're currently filling, will have the same pattern. And you can stretch the leaves so that they fill the container. They don't need to be all the same shape. And not all your leaves need to look exactly the same. Remembering to breathe, relaxing your hands. Loosen your grip on your pen or pencil. And if you want to, you can start to color in the negative space already, but you can also leave that to the end. Let your hand be loose. Let the doodle be fluid. Let the shapes be imperfect. Decide for yourself whether your patterns fall behind the layer in front or if they shape around it. I've done a bit of both. There's no right or wrong. It isn't about the aesthetic. It is about the practice of letting go of control, expectation, perfection, judgment. Notice the sensations that you currently are experiencing, how you're connected to whatever you're sitting on. Wiggle around if you need to. Change your posture. What are your feet touching? Move your page around as opposed to contorting your hand as you draw. Keep your hand in a comfortable position. I tell you, this morning, can you hear that? Today is the day, in this moment, that they're going to cut down trees. While our windows are open because we can't turn off the heat. My husband is very kindly going to close the window. So hopefully that is less distracting. Thank you, babe. I suppose that is the practice of maintaining your Zen energy while there is chaos and noise around you. This is a new playlist that I'm playing in the background, piano. I hope you can still hear it. And yesterday I was contemplating the impact that music does actually have on us, and how with anything we consume, whether we're eating it, drinking it, reading it, listening to it, we need to be discerning. We need to be intentional, because it does affect us. Noise pollution affects us as much as air pollution. And I am personally feeling very tangible effects of listening to this music right now. And yesterday, I had another tangible experience of the effect of music when I was out on a run. And I had downloaded a new playlist from Spotify. I just searched jogging jams, and I didn't pre-listen to any of the songs. I just downloaded them and then went running. And it turned out that many of the songs were 90s music, but from like rave, the rave scene, like lots of beat. Some of them I enjoyed, some of them I really didn't. And I skipped over those because I noticed the impact that those songs that I didn't like were having on me. And then I also noticed the impact of the songs I did like, and how one song in particular, it had a nice beat, and I was enjoying the beat. And I was so focused on the beat of the music and enjoying that I wasn't as focused on my run and my pace. And then when my earphones, you get the mile markers and it tells you your pace, I didn't realize how fast I had been running. And I didn't think, just goes to show, I didn't think that I could run terribly fast. I'm a very slow jogger. And I'm only recently getting back into the practice of it. It's been about a month since I've taken up jogging again, taken up running again. And I'm taking it slowly so that I am consistent with it. And I didn't think that I could be very fast. And just because of a song I was listening to. My pace, I had my best time in the whole month. In fact, even comparable to the days when I was a lot fitter and running regularly. And I was astounded that a song could have that much impact. And I always, when I am doodling or illustrating, I'm always, and also just generally curious and on a researching vibe, I'm always so grateful for those people who follow their creative urges and share their creations, because it has an impact. The ripple effects of one person's creative urge, it can continue to have an effect decades down the line. That song from the 90s made me run faster yesterday for that 1 mile. So it just goes to show how discerning we need to be about what we consume, about what our senses absorb. And I notice it as well with running. When a slow song comes on, my pace slows down. Have you noticed that about music? Yeah, music is powerful. It is. I came home and I shared a particular song with my husband. Again, another 90s, you know, that's when the era that in which I spent my young adult life. And music played a big part, and it's been so long since I listened to some of those songs, and it took me straight back to the days when I would listen to those songs on the regular. And I remember being at an event and this particular song came on, and just the goosebumps of that experience of thousands of people just there for the music, just enjoying the music, feeling the music and the energy, the excitement, the enjoyment of the music. And that song took me right back there. It's like smells, scents. With the advent of spring, the morning smells is so lovely. Opening the window and taking a lungful of early morning air when it's still quiet outside, the birds are singing, there's a chill. Here we go. Jessica, the 90s is the best. Oh, honestly, love that music. I really love that music. And the 80s. The 80s is early childhood. The 90s is young adulthood. And I know I sound like a really old person now, but they don't make music like they used to. Certainly, yeah, doesn't strike the same chord for me. I'm sure for the young folk of today, it's a different experience. I'm sure they said that about the 90s music and the 80s music. Okay, how are you doing on your second doodle, your second layer? I feel like this is definitely going to call for some shading and shadowing, just so that we can separate the layers. And I'll show you briefly at the end how especially if you're doing this analog, how you can do that with a pencil, and obviously you can do it digitally as well. I'm just repositioning myself. There we go. Hi, Alejandro. Good to see you over on Substack. I still need to figure out the tech of Substack, doing lives on Substack. In fact, I will start doing some illustration practices, very much like this setup on Substack and YouTube. But that'll be like drawing cats and dogs. So I think I'm probably gonna try that for the first time next week. Okay, I'm going to move on to the final doodle. Let's see what it is. If you're still busy with that one, that's okay. You can carry on. Number 22. Let's see. There we go. Oh no, that's 21. I apologize. There we go, 22. That is our next and final doodle for this session. Also very lovely organic shapes. I think, Jessica, you once described this as reminding you of braids, plaits, as we say in the UK. So yeah, we start with the circles. Let's go. I do love the line work on this one. So in your leaf, your succulent leaf container, you can just draw random circles. You can have them hidden behind the other leaves. And then you start joining them. I do about 4 lines per grouping, like per side. Slightly curved in opposing directions. And I'm going to imagine that there is a circle off the edge of the Once you feel like you've got all of your kind of circular connections, then we fill the gaps with like unattached lines, all going in the same direction as each other, but they can go in different directions, different sections. Singular leaf looks like. And then we move on to the next one, starting with your circles, different sizes. thoughts become quieter, become slower. You're immersed in the doodle. That's what we're aiming for here. That's when you know the doodling is working for you. Oops. Keep doing that. Sorry. relation to the silence besides the music? Silence with yourself. You're not saying anything. I'm saying very little. What's your relationship with silence like? acknowledge that this is a practice of self-care. Like you're giving yourself this time, this moment. And this serves no other purpose. There's no scorecard attached to it. There's no expectation. It's just a free to get creative and be quiet with yourself. What a gift. And notice that the repetitive nature of the doodles means that your brain doesn't need to be in gear, doesn't need to be concentrating. It can just freewheel, can go with the flow, doesn't need to think its way through this, because your hand knows what to do. Just automatic. And that allows you to contemplate, practice the art of contemplation. of the succulent to completion as far as the doodles go. I mentioned that I would show you just the shading if you wanted to shade to create separation between your different layers. So you can do this either analog or digitally, completely up to you. You'll need a pencil, and I am assuming that you have done your doodles in pen. I don't specifically say that or suggest that when we do our doodles, because it's completely up to you. But if you wanted to do some shading, just very lightly, I am going to do this on another layer just so that I can show you the difference. Using the side of your pencil, I would go and just very gently shade into the middle of your succulent. And if you are doing this with an analog pencil, you can get a little scrap of paper or maybe a soft eraser, and you can shade or spread out the graphite to soften it so it's not quite so harsh. If you're using an app like me, using Procreate, you can use the smudge tool using the same pencil, and you can smudge it just to soften the shading a little bit. It can be very, very subtle, doesn't need to be a lot. So starting with the interior leaves, just doing the inside. And then as you go on to the second row, you're going to shade along the edges, the outer edges of the row before. So just along those edges, so that it looks as if the row above is casting a shadow. Just very gently. Very subtle. Doesn't need to be heavy, but if you do find that you accidentally go a little bit heavier, then get your eraser or a little scrap of paper to smudge the pencil a little bit. So just on the outside edge of the top layer. And in and of itself, it doesn't look like it's doing much, but when you take a step back, not necessary, but you might like to do it, and then you can add a little bit more to the interior here, accentuating the shadow on the inside. And then on the next layer, same again, so on the outer edge, add a little bit of a shadow. And you could also, if you want to, indicate that one leaf is going over the other of the same layer. Just adds a little extra depth to an otherwise flat doodle image. Especially when there's so much going on. There's a lot of doodle work here in very close proximity, and so the shading helps distinguish what's going on. Again, it's not opposite. It doesn't need to happen. It's just a preference thing. I sometimes find the shading a relaxing exercise in itself. And then, as I said, you would then go along and just smudge so that the line isn't so harsh, just from the outside. And then on the final layer, just see where the leaves overlap with each other. And then smudging. So it looks something like this. What's the time? It's now 12 o'clock, so that is our 90-minute session, accounting for the technical glitches we had earlier. So I'm going to work this a little bit on my own, and then I will show you the final result, where I'll post the final image over in the Substack thread. So if you want to share yours, you're most welcome to do that over in Substack. You should find the link on my YouTube channel, or if you are on Substack, on my profile, you should see the link for the group. If not, then you can get it from the Linktree link. It goes there directly, and within that chat thread as well, you will also be able to then, once you've joined, download the full PDF of the 50 different doodle designs, so that you can continue with your practice on your own, in your own time. And otherwise, I do these live sessions every Friday, and yeah, just hopefully, the intention is always to be glitch-free, but this morning was the biggest glitch of all. I want to thank you so much for joining, for participating, for following me onto YouTube and onto Substack from Insight Timer if you've come from over there. I will be sending Insight Timer a support question to find out what went wrong there, so that I can mitigate the tech issues next time, which will be next week Friday. That's the scheduled Zen Doodle session. And then watch, if you're interested in more illustration style drawing as opposed to mindful doodling, and in particular my favorite subject matter currently is cats and dogs. I will be doing some doodling over there on Substack. I have created a little illustration inspiration system, and I want to share this for other budding illustrators. So if you're interested, then be sure to follow me on Substack, and I'll be scheduling a live session for that. So thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate you being here. I appreciate your participation, and I look forward to connecting with you again over doodles or illustrations. Thank you, and have a fantastic weekend. Bye everyone. Bye.